Coronavirus. Facts, not fear. Starts now.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Shannon Heggie at WPRI 12 in Providence, Rhode Island. Today, the president and the coronavirus task force said 1 million people across the country have now been tested. We also learned that the FDA has fast-tracked a test that can give an answer within 5 to 15 minutes after it's used on a patient. Lawmakers are already at work on the next installment of the coronavirus relief bill. Washington correspondent Jesse Tenor reports on what the Phase 4 bill is likely to include.
I hope we will come back and make changes as needed in the near future.
Members of Congress, like Indiana's Jim Banks, say the $2 trillion coronavirus relief package is only a down payment for struggling workers, businesses, and hospitals.
We do know that we must do more.
Speaker Nancy Pelosi is pushing for another round of direct payments to American workers, on top of the $1,200 going out to most low and middle income earners soon. Her Democratic colleagues, like South Carolina's Jim Clyburn, also want more money to expand the food stamp program and protect employer-provided pensions.
I would hope that as we go forward, we will build upon it.
Republicans in Congress continue to push for a major infrastructure plan that would build everything from roads to bridges to digital broadband. Louisiana's Bill Cassidy says now's the time to save jobs and save money.
We can borrow at record low interest rates, and so now we would do it and minimize the negative impact upon our debt.
Alabama's Mike Rogers also wants to see more money for protective gear like masks, gowns, and hand sanitizer for immigration officers intercepting migrants at the border.
They're putting themselves in harm's way with this deadly contagion.
Lawmakers aren't scheduled to come back to Washington until after Easter. In the meantime,
encourage the president to use the Defense Production Act for everyone.
Tennessee's Steve Cohen urges President Trump to take full advantage of the laws already on the books to help states combat the coronavirus pandemic now. In Washington, I'm Jesse Tenor.
And as of today, residents in North Carolina officially ordered to stay home for the next month. Let's go live now to CBS 17's Angela Taylor in Raleigh. Angela, what can you tell us about this new order?
Well, Shannon, Governor Roy Cooper's executive stay-at-home order went into effect tonight at 5 o'clock. State leaders really hope this will stop the spread of COVID-19 in our state. Now, let's break down some of the numbers here in North Carolina. More than 1,300 people have been diagnosed with COVID-19. And tonight, we know that 6 people have unfortunately died. As for the testing, 20,000 people have been tested, and we're waiting on the results of 8,000 of those tests. Our Jody McCreary breaks down what these numbers mean for our state.
Now, we've tracked 2 weeks of data reported by the DHHS, and we've found the total number of confirmed cases in the state has doubled since Thursday. The overall percentage of positive tests has also increased from under 4% 2 weeks ago to more than 6% today. I spoke to a researcher from Duke. Dr. Gregory Gray says there's a way to collect data that paint a clearer picture. He calls some of the current numbers imperfect because the virus is circulating under the radar. So he wants to do a more detailed study of patients and their close contacts. Now, his study would test people at various times during a 4-week period. He says that would give a better look at the secondary spread of the virus. For more on this story, go to our website at cbs17.com.
And today, our state medical director said social distancing is the only tool that will protect our friends and family from COVID-19. Now, churches throughout North Carolina are trying to help grieving families while at the same time trying to social distance themselves. Free Will Baptist Church managed to uphold the rules and guidelines of social distancing while holding funeral services for Clarence Sutton. Most of the people who attended the service remained in their cars and watched the pastor's sermon on a big screen that was set up outdoors. Only a few family members were allowed inside the sanctuary.
I think it's a way to show your love and appreciation to this family, and also do what you know is right to do, and that's social distancing.
Now, church leaders and members say finding additional ways to worship and build fellowship is helping them get through a time of change. Now, we have a lot of people on the front lines of COVID-19, and that includes our military families. So there's a couple from Topsail Beach who wants to give a military family the wedding of their dreams once this is all over. Garrett and Emily Leatham plan to offer up their newly renovated beach house in North Topsail as a venue for the event. Video submissions are due by October 24th, with the winning couple announced on on November 1st. And this goes for any military couple, not just North Carolina. The wedding will be held on May 8th of 2021. And with so much going on with the coronavirus, Shannon, it's just so important to recognize the people that are doing good in our communities.
Absolutely. We need those stories daily, don't we? All right. Thanks, Angela. Here in Rhode Island, Governor Gina Raimondo says the virus is now spreading fast in the state. She announced 114 new cases today and a fourth death from the virus, a man in his 70s. The state now has more than 400 confirmed cases. Governor Raimondo says the state is about halfway to her goal of doing 1,000 tests a day, which she hopes to reach this week. Also today, the governor announced that schools will remain closed through April and remote learning will continue. WPRI 12's Kim Kalunian has more.
We in Rhode Island will continue with distance learning through the end of April.
Governor Gina Raimondo announcing public school children will continue to learn from home for the foreseeable future.
If April goes as well as the past week, I very likely may say we're going to do it again for the month of May.
Raimondo says distance learning is going better than anticipated, with attendance rates up in some cases. To troubleshoot technical issues, households that have a hotspot-enabled cell phone with service from T-Mobile, Sprint, AT&T, or Verizon can now receive free hotspot service until May 18th. Cox Communications is also offering 2 months of free Wi-Fi for low-income families. Keeping children at home is just another way to help slow the spread of coronavirus. On Monday, the state saw its highest daily increase in cases amid another death from the virus and 15 confirmed cases at 3 nursing homes.
We are at a very critical phase right now and need everyone to do their part to help us as a state manage this public health crisis.
In the coming days, I'm going to be giving some tough news, I predict, around the rate of increase in these cases. The best thing everybody can do in order to help us out and slow down the spread is to stay home if you are sick, to abide by the new social distancing regulations, to wash your hands, to stay calm and stay informed.
That was Kim Kalunian reporting. Johnson & Johnson announced today it could test a coronavirus vaccine by September. The company announced a partnership with the Biomedical Advanced Research and Development Authority, committing $1 billion to fund vaccine research, development, and clinical testing. Johnson & Johnson says as the world's largest healthcare company, it feels a deep responsibility to use its resources to fight the pandemic. A popular Florida pastor has been arrested for holding large church services despite social distancing orders. Pastor Rodney Howard Brown packed the River at Tampa Bay Church Sunday with hundreds of people standing shoulder to shoulder during service. That violated a county order banning gatherings of more than 10 people. The pastor is now facing charges of unlawful assembly and violating emergency public health rules.
His reckless disregard for human life put hundreds of people in his congregation at risk and thousands of residents who may interact with them this week in danger. Our goal here is not to stop anyone from worshiping, but the safety and well-being of our community must always come first.
Howard Brown was released on a $500 bond. New York Governor Andrew Cuomo gave an update today at the Javits Center, which has been transformed into an overflow hospital. That's in addition to the naval ship Comfort, which arrived in New York's harbor today. WTEN's Karina Capabianca has more.
There are now more than 66,000 confirmed coronavirus cases in New York State, and now only one county, Seneca County, has no reported cases.
Anyone who says this situation is a New York City only situation is in a state of denial. You see this virus move across the state. You see the virus move across this nation.
The governor had a statewide healthcare establishment meeting to work together and foster more coordination.
We have hospitals upstate New York that are experiencing none of this, where they have staff capacity, they have bed capacity. We need you now here in this fight and engaged.
As the virus spreads, the governor says the state needs supplies desperately. He says states, private hospitals, and the federal government continue to compete against one another, driving the prices up.
We've created a situation where you literally have hundreds of entities looking to buy the same exact materials basically from the same place, which is China.
The governor says that ventilators that once cost $20,000 to $30,000 can now cost $50,000. In Albany, Karina Capabianca.
Today, the NCAA's Division I Council voted to allow schools to provide spring sports student athletes an additional season of competition and an extension of their period of eligibility. Members of the council also adjusted financial aid rules to allow teams to carry more members on scholarship to account for incoming recruits, as well as student athletes who had been in their final year of eligibility who decide to stay. Winter sports were not included in the decision. Macy's says it will furlough a majority of its employees because of the coronavirus outbreak. The company says the furloughs will get underway this week, affecting more than half of its 125,000 workers. Macy's says it plans to gradually rehire them when business returns to normal. It says furloughed workers will be covered with the company's health care at least through May. Macy's closed all of its stores in the U.S., but online sales are still up and running. Zac Brown Band canceled their 2020 tour last week due to the coronavirus and also laid off most of their staff. As for when the band will resume their The Owl Tour, Brown thinks it could be a while, maybe even next spring. Meanwhile, for fans needing a fix, Brown has a new song out called Dreamcellin'. It's off his solo album, The Controversy. A quick reminder now of the symptoms of the coronavirus. The primary symptoms: fever, cough, and shortness of breath. The CDC says call your doctor before going to a clinic or hospital to be tested. And if you feel sick, please stay home. The goal of our Next Star family is to make sure you continue to get the latest facts on the coronavirus without the fear. We'll be back at the same time tomorrow night with stories from across the country. For now, I'm Shannon Heggie. Thank you for joining us, and stay healthy.